You know, I rode roller coasters from California to Alabama, but I still haven't found a ride that could rock my shit. Whee! Well,
Had a little bit of money, so the Lord did me good. Got all kind of shit. Got the glow sticks. I got the gotcha bag. Got the Hawaiian punch. Man, everybody won't holler at pop what you need. I got it. If I ain't got it, I can find it. You understand? I'm selling glow sticks. Glow sticks to go with the yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You know it is a thrill when you go downhill, cause you're riding on the mountain of your own free will, and you're zipping in a flash on a daring dash down a waterfall so rapid that you go split splash. Splash Mountain.
Welcome to the Bombadcast.
What is up, Bombad fam? This is your boy, the Cannon Junkie. Welcome to another Bombad Thursday. It's great to be here with you all. Guys, we got more Book of Bombad, more Book of Boba Fett to talk with you about. But before we get to that, we have other shows. On Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you can find myself. Look at that astute individual right there. It has nothing to do with actually me being astute. It's just me sitting and talking with any number of people from the Star Wars Twitter, podcasting, YouTube, whatever world, talking about probably something that isn't Star Wars. And so we do that every Monday. Come check that out. My next guest, I believe, is going to be Mr. Michael McCoy. Yeah. Go back to me. Don't you dare cut to you, Scotty. Okay, now cut to Scotty. Okay. I'm sorry, Scotty, not Willie. There we go. We have on Wednesdays, Bombad Gaming with my boy, Scotty J-Ro, playing any number of games. Listen, he's been playing a lot of Wii recently. Scotty can play old N64. He's played Sonic. It's always a fun time, and he usually tries to get people to buy him food. So yeah, I'm really going to start doing that, I think, on Hyperfocus. Maybe we need to start doing it here on Bombad. I don't know. Speaking of that, every Thursday you have this show, the main show, the Paul Stanley of our KISS lineup. And look, isn't it beautiful? It's gorgeous. We're glad you're here. This is what you come here for. This wonderful, it's just wonderful. You know what? I'm going to bring in my boy, Scotty, the artiste of a lot of these pieces. Scotty, how you doing, boyo?
You know, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling something, but I could still use a nice Bacta tank bath. Is it a bath?
Hey,
what is it?
It's a It's
How
a
does
back
he sleep?
It's a back to bath. Look, he sleeps in those
like
Daredevil, maybe it's
Daredevil,
like in the old one with Ben Affleck, like he slept in that like tank of water and stuff.
Yes.
That's what it's like. But you know what?
A sensory deprivation.
Like we said last week.
Tank.
Right. Well, like we said last week, don't talk to me till I've had my back to sesh. Okay. Like that's just, in the mornings, you just need to, I got to make sure I have my back to sesh. Then I'm good to go. So
you want to know real quick? We have a couple people that are going to join us. I'm very excited for these people. One of them is a longtime collaborator. Our shows were born at the same exact hospital. I don't know if they're born, in the same day, but definitely the same hospital. I can guarantee that.
It was definitely in the same ward for sure. Like it was definitely in the that's the right word. I think I've had a child before. Yes. Okay.
Yes. And that person is our sweet, sweet friend, Lauren Romo from the GALactic podcast. What's going on? Oh, wait, I want to wait before I bring her in.
Oh,
damn it.
What was that?
I already messed it up. Wait, Bombadcast. Here we go.
Hey, mate, who invited you here?
That's right, Lauren. Who invited you here? I already messed it up.
You wanted me on. I came in.
Oh, right.
What's going on?
It was us.
I'm going very meta. I'm wearing a Bombad shirt.
Look at that shirt.
On a Bombadcast. What's better? I mean,
I know, right? Can't beat it.
That's the way you should do it.
I know.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Represent my boy.
Lauren's one of our oldest friends, and I'm so happy she's here. I mean, really, it warms my heart, especially talking about this.
Me too. I love you too. You guys know that. Like you guys said, we started basically around the same time.
Yep.
And it's just like a like, hey, you guys are doing it too, like us. Oh, okay. Let's walk side by side and hold hands through this journey.
Exactly.
And here we are, kids.
And we have.
Yeah.
Well, you know what's crazy?
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Our next guest, okay? Our next guest we're going to bring in our friend Todd. Okay, now I'm going to play the clip. I'm not going to mess this one up.
Ooh,
Todd, I believe he actually got to hang out with all of us at Celebration in Chicago. I remember talking to Todd for a minute there.
Yes.
Let's bring in Todd. I got to play the clip
podcast night. That's all I'll say, Todd. That's all I'll say. Podcast.
Yes. Here we go.
Hey, mate, who invited you here?
Gentlemen,
who invited you?
I think it was you. Maybe it was me. Maybe it was a self-invite. I just brought myself.
Oh, well, we're happy.
Sometimes I just throw the link out into random chats and we'll see who shows up. It is what it is. Yeah, it's fine.
Todd, you doing okay?
Oh, I'm surviving. I'm thriving. I'm dealing with a young kitten named Boba, so it's taking up all my free time now.
We got to say something real quick. And then we have.
I just watched a show about a little kitten named Boba. Excuse me. I know Star Wars.
Todd,
War Stars,
we have to bring it up. Look at Todd's background. Todd, if you can move your head just a centimeter over.
Todd, just get out of the shot. No.
Beautiful.
Look at that.
I'll just do it
Look
like
at
that
that
angle all night.
Yeah.
What a collection, man!
Todd, if you get have you lower your chair, maybe,
and get out of the frame.
I'll just leave and you can talk to the background the whole time.
Yes, perfect.
Yes. Todd from Black Squadron Podcast.
That's
we have Black Squadron in the chat right now.
Representing.
There we go.
And you know what else? Our last guest is also a collector. Now, the collecting this one does is the one I find to be particularly interesting. And Jerry and I will probably have a story about going thrift shopping for Star Wars stuff when he came to Louisiana. God. There is one really good story. But anyway, so happy to have you here, Todd. And it's going to add so much to the conversation. I need to bring in Silver.
Hey, mate, who invited you here?
Who invited you here?
I invited myself.
Damn right.
I invited myself. I said, look, I'm new on this Twitter Star Wars world, meeting new friends. I want to talk to some friends about Book of Boba. So here I am, invited myself. No shame.
We are so happy to hear. The second I put the word out, and I said, does anyone want to come guest on a little recap show? And the first few people to message me back were these three. And I was like, yes.
See,
that's how it should be, though. That's how it should be.
Scotty Williams got a point. Yeah, we're collecting people at this point.
Hey,
I don't know. That sounds a little creepy, William. This is one of Scotty's students. Again, so those of you who don't know, it's
just get that Thanos Scott.
Just for reference.
Little Thanos going on.
Yes, I've got the gauntlet. I'm gonna punch someone with it.
Oh my god.
So I'm so glad we're all here. Okay, and just for a moment, I want to talk to Silver because Jerry has a great story. Real quick, Jerry, when he came to Louisiana, we went to the flea market, Jerry. Okay,
Oh, gosh,
and we tried to embody shops over here, and we tried to go getting some Star Wars vintage collectibles. We found a couple of things, actually. It was very successful. But Jerry, you got to tell them about the B1 battle droid we found, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
I'm trying to remember exactly. So I remember we got like the little Dagobah and stuff. We were talking about like I can't remember. Like I remember like talking to the lady, and she was like, "Oh, that's like Star Wars planet or something."
Yes,
you know, or I can't remember the exact story. I remember we were talking with this lady, and she knew that it was Star Wars. She was knowledgeable, but she also was like, there were like things that was like, she was like, you know, she was trying to sell it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a couple of nerds here. I'm going to really try to like, you know, set like George Lucas used this toaster or something, you know, kind of a thing.
Literally. That's what it felt like. And we found a vintage Hallmark card. I mean, there was some really cool stuff that she had, but the one I'll never forget is she had a Phantom Menace B1 battle droid in the box still, and this box was tore up. Like the plastic was crunched in, the corner of the cardboard was like completely crunched, like it was terrible. And she looked at Jerry and I, and she go, $100. I'm like we're gonna have a great discount with that one. I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know, lady. I can imagine.
I'll let this go at a measly 100 clams. It's fine. It's whatever. You know, it's yellowed. Sure, it's yellowed from the tobacco use in my household.
Yes,
it's okay.
It was
fine,
yellow.
Like,
it was so yellow. And
That's
she was like,
gross.
"It's the worst." She was like, $100. And I'm like,
that
you think it was a steal?
I will give you $1 for
it'll be
that. Like, come on.
it would be like that. Honestly, if it says Star Wars, they just feel like, you know what, I'm just gonna raise up the price. It'd be like that.
I'm going for it.
I'm
going for
crazy. You know, it makes me wonder if the Jawas never obviously sold the Boba Fett armor to Cobb Vanth for that whole Camtono of whatever the crystals were. I wonder how cheap they would have let that go if they had to. Like, because that's kind of how it felt. You know what I mean? It was like, why are you trying to sell me this? Like, she had other great.
These were the human version of Jawas. They really truly were. God bless their hearts. I'm not trying to talk down about these people, but it was just like, listen, buddy. We give you this for 100 smackers, man. Come on.
Exactly.
The low price of $100.
Low,
yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Start anywhere else but $100. Like,
yeah.
Oh, and she also, Scotty, she tried to sell us the Lego airplane. That she said was also from Star Wars. That was the part that really cracked me up. It's like a Lego like 747. She's like, this is from Star Wars too, I think. That's a Lego 747, ma'am. I'm sorry. I'm too much of a nerd. I'm sorry.
That's not it.
That's cool.
Not it.
I like Lego, but it was, I think it had like Obi-Wan Kenobi in the pilot seat or something. You know?
It was
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
A whole other meta thing about the whole, he looks like Jesus or whatever,
amazing.
you know? So
Kenobi,
take the wheel.
I can tell you this much. I am happy that interaction happened, and we got some good stuff out of it, obviously. But in terms of just a weird moment, those are definitely one of the few ones that are just the strangest. People can be odd, but we should talk about it while we are all here, right? The Book of Boba Fett. Let me play the wonderful Tamora Morrison intro to this. Are you ready? You ready?
As I'll ever be.
Kia ora, welcome to the Tim Show. I'm Tim Morrison. Now, each week I invite a couple of buddies over to have a bit of a kōrero. We have a bit of a sing-song, and I show them some of my postcards from Hollywood. Ooh, and they're looking pretty flash too. I visit the whānau in New Zealand and around the globe, and I even score some A-listers. Now, this week we've got a Tim Show special. Episode 3, Involvement of the Kiwis. I'm talking Star Wars. We find out how they make us clones. And I catch up with Rena Owen and talk to the producer, Rick McCullum, and talk to the big guy, George Lucas. So, lightsabers on!
Let's have a sing song.
That is...
It's so good every time. Like, it's so good every time.
Still the most stacked lineup of any show ever. Like, I talked to Rick McCullum and the big guy, George Lucas.
The big guy.
And he's got clones of himself.
So good.
Oh, y'all.
Can't get better than that.
I'm hoping that show comes back on New Zealand TV. I'll somehow find a broadcast. It's gonna have to happen. Because
let's have a bit of a cordiddle. Here we go.
Yep, and no, the man deserves it. He's one of the best. Tamora Morrison just killed it.
Yeah, no,
He
for
is
sure.
killing
He's
it
an
in the show.
international
Yes.
treasure. Okay, like the man just like is absolutely fantastic. No matter where he
And
goes, I love him
Minhwa
to
Ying.
pieces.
They're both like
Oh, of
Yes.
course.
God.
Both
love
of
it.
them package deal now. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So,
They need to let Tim have a panel or do something at Celebration where it's just him just chatting with everybody.
please.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Yeah.
Just sitting there, just doing Q&As for 2 hours
Just say
straight. I
mate.
would
Just say mate.
Bringing
Thanks,
the
mate.
big guy
Thanks,
George
mate.
Lucas on stage.
We're gonna have Rick McCullum.
Man,
So
only
before-
if the song, only if they started off with this. Okay.
incredible.
Such
How is that
a-
real? That was
So
real.
amazing.
That's the perfect
Someone made
screenshot. That's the perfect screenshot of that.
Yeah,
Era.
I love
Yeah.
it.
It really
Yeah.
is. So wait,
The
this brings up a
glasses,
good
everything. It's like
point. This brings up a
really
good
is.
point. What era are we in Star Wars when you watch this? Because they do something different. We talked about it before the show, before we even recorded. The timeline is a little screwy now, which is why I love Star Wars. They don't really explain it, but they throw you in it. So what do y'all think is happening? Because obviously the last episode in the flashback, he had to unfortunately bury all the Tusken Raiders and dispose of their bodies. But now all of a sudden, you know, he's sitting there after a long, hard day of staring at Jabba's palace, and he sees the flares go off. It's been 5 years or whatever, however long it's supposed to be. How do y'all feel
Or he
about all
spent
that?
more time with the Tuskens, and that
I
was
think he
closer
spent
to
time
the
with the. I
timeline.
think he spent time
Yeah.
with the Tuskens.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I want to say it's a combination of the two. Like I think the amount of time that he spent with the Tuskens is definitely more than we thought, but I think he also spent a longer period of time just kind of wandering the sands of Tatooine, trying to figure out how he's going to make his play on Jabba's palace.
Yeah, because it's
That's a good
pretty
point,
thought
yeah.
out. It's pretty thought out by the time he gets to obviously where we're at in the story, right? I mean, he knows what he wants. He knows what he has to do. Bib Fortuna, he knows Bib Fortuna is fat. That is a very strange thing I noticed. He's very specific with that because no one has mentioned that.
Did he
He's
say
like,
that?
Well, he said bloated. He said bloated.
The blood pig, right? Bloated
Yeah.
pig.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He was
puffer
very
pig?
specific. on
Yeah,
that.
that bloated pig.
Should have called him a puffer pig or something, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, man.
Man, that's one thing the show does do though.
We
is
have a
it does
canon
get those
to maintain here.
little moments though, little things like that, you know, when they said and we'll talk about it Yuzum later because Jerry's favorite character is Joe Yuzum.
I'm sorry, what do we
wonder- I
Call
do
it.
wonder how long he was actually in the Sarlacc pit. Like
That's also true.
so like I'm wondering kind of like what Todd was saying. Is it a little bit of both? Like was he in the pit more than we think?
Yeah.
And then his time with the Tuskens I think was substantial. I really do. I think
Yeah.
when we see him leaving last episode, I don't think it's that too much like length in time, but I do feel that the time he spent with the Tuskens and then the time he was in the pit, I think is longer than I think we know. I think
Yeah.
that's just my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah, and I get that. And there's some things too in terms of overall story. Of course, the events of Return of the Jedi are playing out. So, you know, how long did that movie take place? I really don't even know. Was that a couple of days or was that something heavy? I frankly don't remember. So that's just kind of this big idea. And it's so cool to think we got to see a scene from The Mandalorian from a different perspective. That
Yeah.
got me.
So cool.
So wild.
I'm like, that's how they're going to do it? So they show
Yeah.
the poof, and he's sitting there with his bantha, which I love, by the way. See, I think you're right, Arzu. I really do think it
I
might be
agree. I
that.
agree with Arzu, yeah.
I wonder if they'll flesh it out in a book. I would love to get a Tusken
Oh.
Raider Boba Fett book. Oh,
More time with
That'd
them.
be good. Yeah.
Yes. explain their culture more, make it more canon. I don't know. I love it.
Or maybe we get more in, like we were talking about before we started tonight with, like Todd mentioned, maybe we see more in season 2 even.
Sure.
With all of that. So go back and explore more chunks in there.
Yes.
So
God, I would love
Kinda
that.
lay the foundation for everything in this first season and then really dive back into it in the second season.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be good.
See, and of course, I love the fact that this show has also gave us, of course, wonderful culture of the Tuscans and several other things so far. But to know Boba Fett is an animal lover, he is a huge fan of animals.
You're
It makes
hired.
me so happy to see him interact with banthas.
I love it.
With a rancor. It's just so great.
I love it. I saw a bantha wag its tail and I lost it at a ridiculous hour in the morning. I was like, it's wagging its tail. I was freaking out.
The tongue coming out and looking
everything.
So good.
I just want to know what they
is
did
so
with
good
those
in the
props
show.
because they have just at least
good.
part of a bantha head somewhere and part of the tail and all that. I want to know where those props are living right now.
Yeah, I do love how they are using those practicals, with
so
Jabba
good.
and everything. It's just they're using them at perfect times, and I think just it feels natural still, even though it's practical. It's so good. Yeah.
You know what else is pretty cool? They made the mod gang, obviously, in the third episode. I liked them. I'm sure a lot of us here did. But they gave them more of a story beat now. The only reason that Finnick is alive,
they doubled down,
is because the mod gang and everyone that was probably complaining about it last week are like, oh damn, that. Now I feel like a moron.
Yeah,
because it made sense. She needed to be modified, and it was a cool
So
cameo
good.
from Thundercat there. The basis. Man, that
also
surprised me.
lost it.
Did you see the battle droid arm that the mod father Thundercat had?
I was gonna say he had
these
a
guys?
big super battle droid hand.
I noticed that in the recent evening's rewatch I just did.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So cool.
So good.
All
How
about the
great
Clone
is it
Wars.
that we have a mod parlor very similar to a tattoo parlor.
Yeah.
in,
Right.
Our world.
I love
it's
it.
So cool that kids are like, nah, instead of getting a tattoo, they're like, no, I just want some modifications. Give me a new arm.
Yes,
give me something
yes.
cool. It's
I'm gonna
that's
replace
just-
my
it
eyes
makes
with
sense.
robot gecko eyes or
Right.
something.
Yeah.
right?
That's
Yeah.
so good.
Just
Well, it's
so
so cool.
Rebel.
Yeah.
When
love
Boba
it.
Fett showed up, they're like, "You're a little too old to be here," And I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
nice."
Exactly.
I want to think that's almost like a little nod to Carrie Fisher with the whole aren't you a little too short to be a stormtrooper?
Yes!
Aren't you
So
a little too old to be?
good.
I was like, I see what you're doing, Favreau. You're
That's
not
a great
slick.
call, Todd. That's a great
My
call.
goodness.
That's really good.
That is pretty good. I have to
Yeah,
say, I
and-
love too when he's like the whole interaction between him and the guy running the parlor and everything, where he says that she needs modification. It's like, oh, we're appointment only, and he sets down the money and then goes, she's dying, and he goes, well, you should have started with that.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
Like, well, hold on now.
They got a
Just
heart
like
still.
Yeah.
yeah. It's just I don't know. It was pitch perfect. Like that whole thing was fun.
Everything.
But it's
I
kind
like
of
how they
interesting.
dived into the whole Fennec, and maybe we'll talk about this too. The whole Fennec, how they did it, how the parts that he used and everything. That was cool. That whole scene of showing how they did the
Yes.
whole stuff. That was good. That was
Yeah.
really
This is
cool.
also a pretty cool line. I just put in the comments. Faith steps in to rescue the wretched, and this whole show has been that, right?
Yes.
And I do love the idea. Oh, I said faith, I meant to say fate. But
Fate.
fate steps in. Yeah, fate, not faith. Fate steps in to rescue the wretched. But I do love that idea only because the concept of she was left stranded for dead on Tatooine. He was left stranded for dead on Tatooine, and now they both have this sort of rebirth, right? She doesn't want to go back to that way after she sees how much Boba Fett cares about, I guess getting his revenge and of course, getting his ship back. So I'm very interested to see, and I'm actually happy that we have Finnick now getting more of a character arc because his first episode, she's kind of taking the back seat for a little bit, but this whole episode was a shining
so
moment.
good.
I was
So
happy
good.
for our friend Arzo over here because that was something she had been wanting, and
Yeah.
Made
Bonik,
me very happy.
Bonik all over the place.
Yes.
Or if
Arzu,
you're
we got it. We got
Yeah.
3 romantic campfire scenes. Okay.
Yes.
Oh,
Very,
It's
man.
slick. We know what they're
Very-
doing.
We did.
very romantic.
Yeah.
He proposed to
Oh.
her, basically. I
Yeah,
saw someone
pretty-
say he proposed to her. Yes.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
you know, when
Yep.
someone says they're going to pledge their life to protect mine, then that's pretty
Sounds pretty
And-
serious.
That's pretty serious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
ending too.
Oh, yeah.
The ending when they're looking off the balcony and the wind's blowing, and I'm like,
Oh,
Yeah.
it's beautiful.
I can show you the.
I'm
world.
telling you,
Like, you're just gonna be
Aladdin,
waiting for it. I'm
Princess
waiting for it.
Jasmine Palace.
Mhm.
I can
vibes.
show you all these sand.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
It's
that's the
listen,
first time I saw the palace and thought like, wow, I can actually live here and be happy about
right,
it.
right.
This is weird.
That was that sunset was very romantic. That lighting was very
it
romantic.
really was.
Yeah.
There's tons of
No, it's funny.
well-stocked dinners. I mean, they're
Oh
not
my
being shy
goodness.
about it.
Yeah, it's
And
hashtag
lots of money.
Bonic or
Yeah.
Faboshefek,
money.
whatever you want to call it.
Bonic.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Arzu brings us up. I mean, it's more than Anakin and Padme had. They had that one scene by the fire inside Naboo, so there's more than they've got. You know, I'm just excited. Maybe we will actually get some romance, or if not romance, something very close to it. A holding hands moment, something. I
Just-
don't know.
They're gonna pull like a
Give me a
Solo,
healthy
though.
relationship in Star Wars that they
Yeah.
don't die. One of them doesn't die.
Yeah,
Amen,
and
dude.
can they live?
Yeah.
No.
Sorry, Todd. Sorry, Todd. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say watch them pull a Solo and Fennec just like backstabs Boba at the end of it.
No!
with Kira.
No! Oh my god!
God,
We're-
I've been
we're-
afraid of that. Honestly,
We're getting so
Yeah.
connected to it and all
Definitely
about
afraid.
this, and then they're just gonna be like, nope.
Yep.
Nope,
I'm
nope.
deathly afraid
Oh,
of that.
no.
I am.
Everybody knows we
I'm
can't
That
have
is
very
the way
happiness.
Star Wars, is it not?
Yep.
So, you know.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
So I wanted to bring this up because this kind of plays into it. Refresh my memory. For Bad Batch, didn't Fennec kill Tanwi?
Tanwi was dead at least when
Wait,
Okay.
Cad Bane brought Omega. So
Okay.
and Fennec was there. So I guess you could assume, unless they pull in some like sleight of hand stuff. But
They could.
Yeah.
I wonder if that'll ever get brought up. I don't know why it would, but like there I feel like Omega or something will get brought up at some point. Maybe not in this season, but I mean it's got to be. You don't set up a huge character like that and have nothing really fall.
Yeah.
You know.
I
fall
was
into it.
originally thinking along those lines, like maybe we'll get Omega, maybe we'll get some kind of connection to the Bad Batch. But
Yeah.
the whole initial interaction with Boba and Fennec, like, aren't you Master Assassin Fennec Shan? Like, they had never crossed
Uh-huh.
paths before. And the fact that he said, like, of the mid rim, like, really makes me think that he knows of Fennec, but not really more than just like I've heard of you before kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know necessarily, unless they really want to dive into sort of their backstories and like, you remind me of someone else that I once saw as a wee little
Mhm.
child.
Yep.
So crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be wild. And
Yeah.
it's funny. You watch them interact and you kind of get where they're at in the Mandalorian season 2 now. Like I understand exactly where they stand, who they are, why they are doing the things they are doing. And it's interesting. Obviously, Boba Fett by that time is a much more noble man. And it was kind of crazy to see him kill all those Nitko riders for that reason. I was like, oh,
dude,
like,
when he's
but-
like, hey, I got some scores to settle. Immediately when that music started playing, I'm like, yes, mow
Yeah.
them down.
Oh,
Which
Mow
I
those
agree with.
MFers down.
that was horrifying. That shot was horrifying. You see it in the distance. I
Oh,
would
And they're
hate
just
to
like,
be on that. Yeah. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
sitting ducks. That's it.
It was like
You guys are all
Jaws, like
gone.
whenever you see the big shadow of
Yes,
Jaws
right.
in the water, I'm like,
oh, that's
oh,
it.
Right.
You're done.
Right.
And then the
With
last one, he used the rocket. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
might as well.
Just
Yes,
for good
that's
measure,
just
right?
right.
You
Yeah,
just
just
had the missile, right? Yeah.
we just need to have the
Oh.
Flight of the Valkyries playing.
I
Like,
love
dun,
how-
dun, 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 dun.
Yeah. I
I
love
wanna
how
edit
Fennec
that.
was like, yep. Like she just shook
Yeah.
her head. Like, yep.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it.
Good deal.
Good.
Yeah, let's
That's
kill
right.
those guys.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's go.
yeah.
All right.
I'm
when they
down.
said the biker gang wouldn't kill sand people, they couldn't do it. They couldn't kill. I was like, then you think the Pikes went back there and was like, nah, that's not what we're gonna play. That's gonna be brutal if that's the case.
I
Like
think
that-
so.
It makes sense for the Pikes
I
to do
think-
it though, because the Pikes were paying the biker gang already to have
monitor,
their spice trade go through. So
Uh-huh.
if they tell Boba like, "Oh no, the Pikes or the bike gang killed all your Tuskens that you were
Yeah.
trying to negotiate on behalf of," then
Mhm.
they knew Boba would probably try and get revenge. So that wipes out them having to pay tribute to anybody.
Wiping
Yeah.
everyone out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn, it's brutal. And like she when she said that line, I was like, ooh, I never thought about that. Like that could 100% be the case.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was cool seeing, for once Finnick be like the gadget person, because we're so used to gadgets from like Din Djarin and even other people. But when she pulled that little probe droid out,
Oh,
letting
Oh,
it
that
go
thing was so
infiltrate,
cool.
like that is cool.
That was like
Yeah.
the most real world feeling thing, but it was still so like just to see. I don't know, like you couldn't have anything like that. It looks so cool. I don't know. I want one. You know, like how many people are in the grocery store right now? Like, just go tell me. Let me know.
Comes back, you got a full read out of the grocery store.
Yeah.
My God, damn it! No, I'll come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
See, it was cool too to see whatever that gadget Finnick had where she went up to the little bar and went zoom zoom and it made the Dooku head cutting off noise. I don't know if y'all noticed that. It's the exact noise of a Dooku getting his head's chopped off by Anakin. I was like, "Shit!" And I'm like, "What is happening?" And then little bars fell out. I'm like, "This is
just
cool."
like that's on. Fun fact behind the scenes, that is actually a really highly pitched version of Matt. Just saying shit, like you know, like shit. That's all it is.
Stupid.
That's not really true. That's really true.
That is so stupid. You're the
Shit.
worst.
Shit. It's Matthew Wood. That's all that is.
Shit. Oh my God.
I think he stubbed his toe, or he was like they were gonna drop something on his foot, and that's how they got that. So
No, that's the sound.
Yeah.
So they're always recording. Like that's it.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's it.
There was one thing during the campfire sequence that I had failed to mention. Obviously, the part where he lets the bantha walk away, that was incredible. He was like, go girl. Make more babies.
Go make babies.
Go make bantha babies.
So great.
I hope we see like in either somewhere like in The Mandalorian or some other Star Wars project, like that same bantha having a family.
Having a family.
Yes!
Oh my
That'd be so good.
It just warms the heart
so
knowing that
good.
bantha's out there doing well in the Tatooine sands.
Yeah, just having
Living
a
her
good
best life. Yeah,
Yes.
I would love that.
That'd be dope. And it's funny when Boba Fett used a very particular phrase. Now, I don't know if it's me reading too much into it, but he said Bib Fortuna double-crossed him. So, was there something in the works, you think, between Jabba, Bib, and, Boba? Because that word double-cross is like he was guaranteed something. And then that thing did not come all the way through. And now he's, a big bloated pig on the throne. How do y'all read that? Is that another story to be told later? Or is that just like a throwaway line? Because I was like double-cross. Like, that means so many different things to me.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, it's almost like if Jabba had never paid Boba for delivering Han, or like put the payment on Bib to give to Boba, and then just Bib didn't do it, and then Boba ends up in the Sarlacc pit, and obviously everything goes to south. But
it's definitely a story I think we'll maybe hear, hopefully hear.
Hopefully, yeah.
But there's definitely something like that we're not aware of that hasn't been said currently. And I hope they do explain that, because that is like an interesting line to say. Yeah. For it not to like connect to anything that we are aware of at this point. So yeah, definitely interesting.
There was a lot of determination on Boba's behalf to respectfully kill Bib Fortuna. So
he wanted to keep.
That was personal, respectfully, of course.
No,
the
only rules were respect.
I am killing respectfully.
Yeah, he did want to respectfully kill him for sure.
But that was interesting because we have to feel the motivation behind why he walked straight in, didn't say a word to Bib Fortuna, and just shot him in the chest. Because obviously that's not the character we know now. He had grown so much but Bib Fortuna must have messed up big time or purposely screwed.
Well, maybe he didn't like the way he was running stuff either, being kind of and he knew like I take that spot, I can secure, all this stuff for the Tuscans and things like that, maybe, or make things safer, kind of a thing. Yeah,
of course. Yeah, and there was a great
but we're probably still gonna get something.
I would hope so. When he says, "I'm tired of working for idiots who are gonna get me killed," I was like, "Damn, that's all of us."
Yeah,
that's how I feel. Like, that's, like we've all been at
the
jobs.
Past 2 years.
We're like, literally, we're like, I don't want to do
literally
this
the past 2 years.
Exactly.
Well, and they I feel like they expand a little bit on that in the comics too, because Boba's always getting into some type of nonsense, especially with the recent War of the Bounty Hunters comic line, where he's got everybody trying to kill him while he's trying to deliver Han. So it's like, is this really worth it? Is my life and all this nonsense really worth a pile of credits?
Yeah. And that's interesting too, because when he's like, either we're gonna get my ship or I'm gonna die. Like that was his only options. He was like, that is all he's gonna have out of this moment. He has been wanting to get his ship. And it's funny, the big argument, the use of the slave one thing has been very interesting because, would you would you call your ship name that if you were talking to someone who doesn't know the name of the ship or what it even looks like, and people are complaining, I'm like, no, I don't think I would call my car whatever I drive. You know what I mean? It's just like,
yeah.
I thought that was the nitpicking is so strange when it comes to
Don't understand.
name.
It's like somebody calling their like 96 Camry a white pearl.
Yes.
Still a 96 Camry kid.
Yes. Yes.
Doesn't change anything.
My fire spray.
Right. Yeah. And
it's still, it's still got the name is still there if people look for it. Like, it's still on Star Wars website and everything. It's not on merch, but people don't like, unless you're really in the nitty gritty, because they don't ever say the name of his ship in the movies or anything like that.
Yeah.
So unless you're like actively consuming Star Wars,
right? This is the first time he's ever really said anything of like the name of it. Like,
So unless you actively consume Star Wars and really get into like what every ship is named and all that jazz, then it really doesn't matter. And most people, especially with merch, are going to be like, "Oh, that's Boba Fett's ship. Cool. I want that Lego set, or I want that figure."
Right.
Like,
right.
If he ends up saying it, he should just look directly into the camera, Jim style from The Office. I said it. I said it. All you racists and weirdos. Are you happy? Are you happy?
Are you happy?
Wasn't that more of like a toy back in like the day? Like that's what they just named it, and then they used that in the legend stuff. So like it never was really officially like canon, quote unquote. It was always a fire spray like
it was never
so, like
never mentioned.
Honestly, like we said, like it's called Slave One. Can really?
It's gonna be okay. Yeah, it's okay if the name goes away.
Yeah, it's fine.
this episode though in particular has been a lot of firsts for Star Wars. In particular, I love the fact that we got a Clone Wars droid come in to live action, and it was freaking practical. It was practical. It was not CGI. There was some shots that were, but most of it was seriously practical. The way its ears move, the way its eyes would move.
I would die. I would die for that droid. I'm not.
Could you imagine?
I would. I need one. It's so good.
Someone's gonna build one.
You already know.
Service droid, man.
Yeah.
Service droid. So awesome.
We got a chef droid.
Don't even get me started on the Grievous droid.
Wait,
that made me think. That made me think of the one in Attack of the Clones that would told R2-D2 no droids as it's flipping pancakes or whatever.
So wild. So good.
I like to think Count Dooku was just going around the galaxy training random droids like the ways of the Jedi arts.
Someone
don't even know how to use a lightsaber. Just spin your arms until it all works.
I forget who it was. It was like Adam Frazier or somebody. It was like glad to see that their children are glad to see their child in the Book of Boba Fett. And it was like General Grievous and Gormanda from the holiday special. That tracks. That tracks. But how awesome was it that they had EV-99 helping like cook the frog stew? Yeah, but also how awesome the close the voice was to the
Richard Marquand
position.
Yes, that's Richard Marquand.
Sounded exactly the same.
It did.
Yeah, so good.
I love that we had a little Sorgan frog too, like a little nod to Mando again. I was like, get that little one-eyed Grogu eating frog,
one-eyed little buddy.
Yeah. We've seen, Dex's Diner. We've seen Aunt Beru's kitchen, right? And this is a weird thing. I never thought I'd talk about Star Wars kitchens, but Hal Favreau was it? The guy who made Chef and the guy who also has a really good Netflix show about cooking. He decided to add a kitchen. And obviously there must have been one in Jabba's palace, but he decided to make a point that we have a moment in the kitchen. That could have been in a slave quarters. That could have been in the Rancor pit. That could have been anywhere. But he decided to have that whole interaction in the kitchen. I'm like, that is so sick.
Yeah.
I love that.
And it was just a big melting pot of different era droids.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So good.
By the way, how great was it? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lauren. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's like a kid having all like the droids and then having like a Lego set of like a kitchen and then just playing with it. That's totally what Favreau did. 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Brilliant.
The chef. It's the chef go set. Like literally.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, like how great was it though with the bunny droid, the LEP droid, whatever. That it like Boba has it, okay, and it turns itself off.
It's
like
Yes!
So cute.
How great was that? We've never really seen
Yeah.
that. I don't think.
like-
It's just like,
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Like I don't have that time for this. I'm
No,
done.
you know
Yeah.
what? I don't like confrontation, so I'm gonna just
I'm
power
just
off
gonna-
real quick. Yeah.
I'm just gonna
The
bounce.
LAPs are just
Oh,
massive
okay.
introvert droids.
Yeah. Like, Bubba, nope, bye.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the
that's
most
great.
introverted droid.
Gosh,
ever.
I wish I could have that power off button sometimes. Be like,
I
yeah,
know,
I'm
right?
done,
Oh,
bye.
yeah.
Right over,
The
right.
Yeah,
slightest,
get me
slightest
outta here.
inconvenience, and it's just like I'm done. Nope.
Yeah, bye.
That was
Out.
that was a great moment too when he's like, "I'm Boba Fett." And
Oh,
he's like,
that is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
that was so good.
Oh, then and it's so funny. The beats felt right, and Jerry, I know you have something you want to say about the special editions later, but to me, that humor was
Oh, this is
prequel
down-
humor.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm
Yeah.
just saying it just felt the humor
Yeah.
felt very on point for Star Wars, obviously,
yes.
but in terms of like, it didn't feel shoehorned. Like it wasn't a stupid line, wasn't a stupid moment to see Boba Fett chase around that little droid, and the droid's like walking through the barbecue pit, whatever
Yeah, it
that
goes
was.
like,
Yeah. And it was so
So
practical. Oh,
Yeah,
without
it was full blown chaos. He's over there with the stick, gaffy stick,
Yes!
like whacking everything, and they're trying to be quiet. It's like that's not gonna help.
But yeah.
it's so good.
And I like how that droid like kind of laughed when he was about to get away. He thought, and then Fennec came around the
Yeah, I
corner.
was-
Yes.
Yeah.
Like before that, he was like started laughing, like ha ha ha.
Yeah.
And then Fennec stopped him. He's like, oh crap.
Oh man.
It's funny that we have Boba Fett, who's like this big, renowned, like famous bounty hunter, and he's been reduced to just chasing this lep droid around the kitchen.
Yeah.
I'm here for that.
I
Yes.
love
It's
it.
so
I think it's
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
100%.
What
I've
just-
said it before. Most of the time when you see Boba Fett in canon, even in Clone Wars, he's just getting his ass kicked the entire
Yes.
time. That's all he's doing. He's like Indiana Jones in that way. People are like, "Oh, I want him to be a badass." Well, Indiana Jones is a badass. He gets kicked around too. Anyway, I'm
Yes.
going.
Yeah.
He's going.
I get
I'm not
it.
really
I
mad,
get it.
but it's just it's funny. He's
Jerry
always getting.
drinking
I
those
love it.
fanboy tears. 100%.
Yes.
Cheers.
There they are. So it was great to see, Jabba's palace get more fleshed out. I really am hoping for the day we get like a full map. I know we have cutaways and stuff, and
Yeah.
apparently the Battlefront 2 map is really close to, the scene of
that-
the hangar
The
as
hangar,
well.
right?
The hanger was
Yeah.
100% right out of it. Like
So
the
cool.
way
That's
the
cool.
way you walk into it and stuff. Oh man,
It's
It was-
rare
I
that
was
Star
having
Wars
flashbacks.
feels that connected. I mean, Star Wars has great connective tissues, obviously, but like even in terms of like the layout of Jabba's palace, like that's what I love about this show. Like it honors everything that came before it and also elaborating on some other ideas. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
And
Well,
weren't
and
we
the-
on the back side of the palace too? Like this time, we weren't like in our usual like Return of the
Yeah.
Jedi, right? Like,
Yeah,
this is, like,
yeah.
The first time we've seen like
It's like the back off the
other
cliffs
side
and
of
stuff.
it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's cool. Again,
Yes.
view. Yeah.
I think one of the best
God.
things about Boba Fett is that because he's been in every different era, he's been in the prequels with, young Boba.
Yeah.
He's been in the original trilogy, and now we've got post original trilogy Boba Fett. He really connects so many different eras, so you can have all these different cameos and different little
Heck
beats
yeah.
from the different elements,
Yeah.
and they just work because he's in each of those elements. So it doesn't feel
Yeah.
out of place or weird or anything.
Not at all.
No,
And
for sure.
Right.
it's interesting to like even think about where he could go further, like even during the sequel trilogy era, if he's still around. I'm looking forward to when that is answered inevitably. And I imagine it will be at some point. And it was so cool to see him obviously get the ship back. And it was cool because the overhead display and the heads up display, they were all very prequel era, right? And you're so
Yeah.
used to thinking what
Him
Jerry?
climbing into the seat. It made me think of like Daniel Logan climbing into the seat.
Yes.
Oh, it's
Like
so
I was just like
good.
sitting there,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's just like his little baby Boba. Like
Yeah.
climbing into
He's
the-
climbing
Yeah, look at
in.
him.
Is there
Look at him
anything
go.
cooler than the inside of that ship though? Like in
Oh
the
my God,
in
it's
season 2
awesome.
of Mando.
I'll answer it right now.
and
What a
Oh,
shift.
yeah.
It's so cool. Like
The
it
way-
really is.
yeah.
I love how all the toys of it too, like the seat just rotates however you're holding it.
Yes.
So like, I've got the big vintage collection one to my left, and it's so much fun because he just like rotates up and down, and I'll just sit there and just tilt the thing back and forth.
So fun.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, it was great. And like the fact that he, was having a hard time piloting it, he was out too narrow. He couldn't get his way out. And I think the thing was parked for 5 years. I think it's been there for a while. I'm sure no one flew it. I'm sure it just sat there and, they didn't scrap it or anything.
Yeah.
So it's got to be rusty. And it's very reflective of the character himself. He's very rusty. He is not the same person he was before. And I'm a big fan of that scene. And Finnick is kicking ass.
Oh,
y'all.
she is.
Oh,
Taking
absolute
names, taking
ass.
names. My goodness.
Yeah.
As he's trying to figure out how to get the hell out of there, she's over there handling things.
Yes.
So-
Right. Yeah, he's up there like I can't get it to go, and she's just like wiping guys out. Just real quick, R.I.P. Power Droid. Let's just go ahead and say R.I.P. today.
That one hurt. That one hurt.
Pour
That
one out.
one was a big chunky
But, hey,
power droid too.
Yeah, that one
You
hurt.
do what you got to do. You do what you got to do. At least they didn't put like a little droid scream. Like they usually like to get a little or something. That would have been
that
Thank
one
you.
hurt.
Thank you for having the decency at least.
Oh, she is an icon. And
Exactly.
like the part, y'all, with the door closed and it's just her eyes. I'm like, that is so
that was
sick.
Dude,
amazing shot.
close the
for
ramp.
sure.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yes.
You sure?
Oh.
Just do it. I got this. It's like, all right, well, she's the boss. She's running the show.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So good.
I love how you did get a little bit of growing pain of them working as a team because both of them have worked just as individuals throughout their entire career. So
Yes.
you've got two
Oh,
very
good
like
point,
I do things my way mentalities kind of competing with each other. So I love that we just got that element this episode and sort of those
I
growing
agree.
pains of their relationship in its early stages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
No,
It
so
is.
good.
Good point.
And my student Alex said this. He said, Phoenix saying I'll stay for the ride was my favorite part. That is a great line.
Oh, yeah.
That
It's
is
a great line.
Oh.
Yeah.
It is. And hey,
Yeah.
Arzu, shout out to Arzu for that one.
Yeah. it
Because
is.
I know she's standing it. And like one thing too, the second they get out of Jabba's palace, they show that shot from the trailers. And I'm like, when are we going to finally see it? And we finally see it, push forward. And I'm like, damn, that's going to be so cool. And where are they going next? And obviously the Nitgo gang is the next one's going to end up getting killed. But the Sarlacc pit was the thing I was not expecting. I was like,
Whoa.
whoa.
I was not expecting to see that again. Yeah.
No, never again. And to have it be pretty scary for Star Wars, that was new.
Oh.
The jump scare.
Little jump scare action going
Yeah,
on. We haven't gotten that
yeah.
really since the Phantom
Yeah.
Menace, right? With the under the underwater of Naboo.
Yes.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
that's the last time we really have had
Oh,
any
the
kind of
the Colo Clawfish. Yep, that is the last time
Yeah.
we've gotten that. Man, that was absolutely fantastic. And of course, you're watching it, and I'm like, did they retcon the beak? Did they retcon the beak?
Okay,
and then
hold on.
Here we go.
Hold on. Bring me up wide. I was sitting
Here we
there
go.
at 3 effing o'clock in the morning going, don't you dare take away the effing beak. I almost said the F word just now because I'm so pissed about this. Listen, I was like sitting there the whole time going, this is special edition erasure. I can't believe they would do this. There's a beak. And then when it popped up, the high to go from that and then to he's singing like a young.
Yes.
My special edition purist part was fed. And I listen, I was about to have words with Favreau, Rodriguez, all of them. I was going to call up Lucasfilm, be like, look, you guys can't take away the beak because
not the beak. Do not take the beak away.
I will cry. I will just cry into a pillow for 5 years. Just please don't. Do it. Yeah.
If you look really closely in the credits, it says this episode dedicated to the Bombad boys.
Yes. No, but like I love that whole sequence felt like almost like a Star Tours like thing. Like where you like, we're stuck in the Sarlacc or something. Like I want to watch that with in VR. Like I want to watch the thing coming at looking down into the pit and the beak coming at you.
Yeah.
I want it so bad. Give it to me. Just give it to me.
I want that as a ride.
Of the fire spray from the perspective of the Sarlacc pit
Oh, yeah.
going
Yeah.
down.
It was good.
God,
It made me feel nauseous for
Beautiful.
a second, just because like
Uh-huh.
I felt
Yeah.
myself actually tilting over, and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is actually really horrifying seeing it from this point of view.
That's super
We've
cool.
got the Falcon ride at Galaxy's Edge. I want like a Boba Fett Starship ride somewhere where we just get kind of like combine Star Tours, but really getting crazy with it. And then we
All
get
it is-
the best sound is just the seismic charge like every 30 seconds on
Yeah.
the ride.
Oh
man.
my goodness!
It's like a more elaborate tilt-a-whirl and stuff,
Yeah,
basically, right?
Oh
Like,
yeah,
just get, like,
that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
that's gonna be most of it just is twisting but not going anywhere or something.
You know what was crazy too? I don't know technically how they did it, but there's that one shot of Finnick crawling backwards in the fire spray, and then you see behind her the entire Sarlacc and like its beak, and it's like yelling, like like going towards the window, and like you can see the bend in the fire spray, like winch, like that was obviously done in the volume, but like it looked freaking real, and obviously.
Yeah.
The CGI has gotten
The
to the point
whole-
where it's hard to, as a human being, you could tell what's real and no, it's not real. But like, I was watching with my dog, and my dog is pretty reactive when it comes to TV, and he was growling. He's like, "Oh my God, like this is a real thing that's happening." And like, you look at it,
Trying to eat them.
like,
Yeah,
yeah, literally, like you're like, damn, like that looks real. It's pretty terrifying. It's
Yeah.
progressed
My
very
favorite
far.
sequence of the whole thing, honestly. Like this whole series was worth it just to have that Star Tours level, like the beat coming at you and everything, and just
And then
I don't know.
the fire in the hole.
so good.
Oh my God.
Yes.
When they're
does
like,
it.
I was like, how's it gonna work? It's
So
on the back,
good.
and then it just falls. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, it like tilts, and then it swallows it.
Fire
I
in
was
the
like, oh
hole.
no, that's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
her line delivery of fire in the
Fire in
hole
the hole
was
so
perfect.
good.
Oh.
So good.
And then the best Star Wars
shifted.
sound.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
like
Oh.
it's like, can you guys even believe what we're watching on our screen?
No.
We're watching
Right.
a
No.
seismic charge, in a Starlac pit. Like what?
Yeah.
What's happening?
What is Star Wars life? Right.
I just could not.
why are you
believe
in my
eyes.
brain?
Yeah, I was like, what's happening?
Again, that's like Favreau like playing in a sandbox saying, you know
Yep.
what?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Starlac, and I had the ship. I would just do that. Like it's
Yes.
literally them doing this. It's
Yeah.
It is.
crazy.
That's what makes this show
Crazy.
so unique, because
Mhm.
then we cut, obviously back to the him and Finnick have a great talk outside the fire, what his goals are, what she wants to do with her life, what he wants to do with their life. They don't get second chances, and they said
Oh.
this one line where it was like
I love it.
this is not meant for you. We're not the kind of people that are going to do this. And
Mhm.
the fact that he's like, well, you need a tribe, you need a people, you need a group. I mean, that you're much better, with people than you are alone. And talk
Yeah.
about George
You can only
Lucas.
get so
I mean,
far without a tribe.
that is
God,
such
yeah.
a
Yeah, that
huge-
line
Yeah.
really.
So
yeah.
good. Yeah.
it's such a George Lucas
Well-
thing. You're stronger that way.
Yeah.
The whole back and forth between him and Finnick, right? Like, sorry, Tom.
Yeah.
You-
Oh no, go
but
ahead.
Just
I was-
like where he, look, she's like, you've gone soft. The Tuscans made you soft, and he goes, no, I'm stronger. And
Yeah.
then I think it's that line, right? That you can only get so
Yeah.
far without a tribe.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's just,
it just
it's a beautiful
reinforces-
point for him to come to. Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
reinforces the whole idea of found family in Star Wars and
So
God.
good.
and
Ah.
how you're stronger together and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and it hits really good on a beat in the episode where, obviously they've made a pact, they're going to work together, and then he comes to out of the back to tank, and there she's like, all right, she walks up to him, and I forget her exact line with the pain. I think I may have wrote it down. They're talking about the mayor's major domo, and they're like, he's singing like a Yuzum. And then I was immediately thought, there he is. Jerry, for y'all that don't know in the chat, and also maybe right now, Jerry's favorite character of all time in terms of the original trilogy.
One of my favorites. Where's my action figure?
Let's see.
I have a Jiao Yaoza action figure.
That's amazing.
I can't find him right now, but
Singing
yeah,
like a
yeah.
Yuzum.
The character that everyone hates from Return of the Jedi special editions that comes up to the screen, you get a shot right down the barrel of his glorious throat. I love that guy.
Yeah.
I love that
favorite.
guy. I kind of
Yeah.
am that guy. So, next time you give hate to Jiao Yaoza, you're giving some hate to me. Let's just put it out there. Rick, I know where you stand. Don't say anything. I know Rick in the
Rick.
chat is gonna give me shit anyway. So yeah.
And then look, I wasn't expecting it. I don't know about y'all, but the cut to Garsif's sanctuary. And we get Chrysanthemum right there, just chilling, drunk.
Just-
by the way,
Played by
his
Dan
own-
Miller of Broaxium.
Just chilling.
Confirmed.
He was
Dan.
so
Yo, him
mad. Yeah, he was
upset,
Yeah.
looking for
And
trouble.
I don't think people understand why he was upset. That don't like us. Like we know it was because of the Trandoshans and 'cause of history.
Yeah.
Like I can see where the general audience, like my mom or dad, would be like, "Well, why is he fighting these people?" It's like, well, there's some really deep dark history.
There's some
Yeah.
real
She's
dark
a-
moments from some
Yeah.
children's show called The Clone Wars. If you want to watch
Yes.
it.
Yeah. Let me just show you this arc real quick and
Yeah.
and then you'll understand. Yeah, but he was such a beast. Like that was so cool to see him just rage on some Trandoshans. Like,
Yeah.
that was good. It was good.
And then she was trying to calm him down.
I love that
and-
she was trying to calm him down.
Yes.
That was a
Good.
beautiful line to like her diatribe to him was so beautiful.
Oh.
Right?
Can we talk about her dress real quick? My God.
Yes.
I was
Strut that
stunned.
runway, mama.
Stunned.
Hold on.
Stunned.
Beautiful.
Just
I got
serving
a little
serving
now.
looks.
Respectfully
Yeah.
stunned.
Respectfully, of course. Everything about the Book of Boba Fett is
on the
respectful.
floor.
Yeah, right.
I was respectfully on the floor. Yes.
Yeah, I respectfully could not think. I was so stunned.
Respectfully deceased.
Yeah.
I like how they did like he kind of listened and just did the one arm takeoff.
He's like, I won't do two. I'll
He
do
got-
one.
I'll just
Do you notice? Because like she goes, "Oh, sorry, Lauren. I'm sorry."
No, you're good. Go ahead, Jerry. Good. You're good.
Well, it was just like she does the whole like, well, listen, I'll just your tab will be gone. Whatever, we'll pay for it. And then he pays before he leaves though. So it's kind of like, yeah, whatever. I wanted to do that, so here.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
No deal.
I put this on Twitter. I'm sure y'all may have seen it, but I said, "Loving Star Wars allows me to experience puberty again." That's exactly how I felt. I was
It's-
like,
I mean, look how she looks gorgeous.
It's
Yes.
true.
The
Yeah.
costumes have been really
Stunning.
stellar this year.
Yeah.
Especially with the Twilight. They have done a lot, I think, better from Mando to I think now as far as Twilight. Like they
Yeah,
they
no.
got it down now. I feel like
they did.
really have.
And the Trandoshans too, because remember the Trandoshans in Mando season 1 look kind of odd.
Yeah,
They look very
Yeah.
strange.
they're a
They're
little bit better.
practical.
Yeah.
They look a little
Very Star
strange.
Trek Next Generation Trandoshan.
Yes.
It's kind of just
Yeah.
like, we're just gonna paint
For
somebody to
sure.
look like a Trandoshan.
Yeah.
But now
And
they've nailed it.
I love how
They
Boba
look really good.
like saw everything, and then he was like, "Oh, he gave it your best shot." And she was like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that
then
was
walked
such a
out.
good
She was
look.
like,
Yeah.
My favorite line was like, "Hit it, Max," and then you
Yeah.
just see the
Yeah,
man.
that was good.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
If you would have told
Confirmation.
me, a month ago that we would have had a moment where Chrysanthemum's ripping off Trandoshan's arms, Max Rebo is going to be playing in the band, there's a really pretty Twi'lek lady, Boba Fett's unmasked, watching all this happen, like I wouldn't believe you at all. I'd be like, this show's not going to do that.
Right,
You're
right.
crazy.
Scotty,
Right.
they let
Yeah.
a seismic charge shamble down the ship into the beaked tongue of the Sarlacc pit. We cannot stress this enough. This show is bonkers.
It is. It is
Anything
pretty
is
wild.
I love when
It
Star Wars
is
is just
cool.
campy.
It's like, what's happening?
Yes.
It's weird.
Star Wars
Star Wars
bonkers.
is weird.
It's
It's the
awesome.
best. I'm sorry.
It is,
Star
yeah.
Wars is weird.
It is.
It's good.
And it's funny, it's like you wake up, and at least this is how my experience is. I wake up, I'm so excited to go to sleep on Tuesday night so I can wake up in the morning at 4:30
Yep.
to watch the show.
Wednesday.
Because I know, Wednesday. I'm so excited knowing that we're gonna get something very bizarre. Like I know this show will deliver on that. Now, will Kenobi do that? I don't know. Will even Ahsoka do that? I'm sure to a certain extent. But like this show in particular has just been like Tatooine weird. Like just
Yeah.
give us the weirdness, man.
love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
big fan.
Yeah.
Big
Yeah.
fan. But yeah, the idea too, where he says, hey mate, to Chrysanthemum, I'm like, ooh, I'm like,
great.
That's
I love
it.
So
There's a
good.
team up.
There's a team up, and you
then,
know,
like, it's the slow turn of his head too.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
What
He's
a
like,
what
so
a
cool.
Yeah.
What's your offer? You're
yeah.
What did
And
you
he'd have
say?
more training.
Better be good.
Yes.
It's the scene from Django Unchained where it's Leonardo DiCaprio. He's like, "You had my attention, but now you have my full blown
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
curiosity,
Yes.
but now you have my full blown attention."
yes.
Mhm.
Man, and that was a great moment, you know, and obviously we cut straight to them you know, having the dinner scene or about to have the dinner scene, and they're outside Jabba's palace. And this is the thing we've been living up to. Like, the first trailer of the show had that scene, so I'm like, when are they gonna, is that gonna be like the end of the series after the first 3 episodes? We still haven't had that. That's what this whole trailer focused on. So, and I'm very happy to report, and I know all of you noticed this too, but no more things from the trailer.
That's
Nothing.
it.
Right.
We're going in
Nothing.
blind. We're going in blind.
Three
That's what made-
Hell yeah, baby.
Yes.
episodes.
That's
I
what
love
made
it.
that's what made Mando season 2 so great, because after
Yes, after the fourth. Yeah.
we were like, here we
That's
go.
it. We don't know
We
what.
do have no idea what's coming. It's gonna
Yeah.
be so sick.
So I always
Yeah.
likes to
I
just
can't
take
wait.
like trailer footage up for the first half of the season, and then the home stretch. They're like, "You're on your own. Have fun."
Yeah, that's
Enjoy
it.
Yes.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Oh,
But it sold the tone. It sold the tone of the show. And then the one twist I didn't expect was the Rancor, you know, just
Oh.
grabbing a hold. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo.
Again,
Oh,
another
he's a
jump
bit
scare,
hungry.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
like a Boba was so chill. He was like, "Oh, here you go. I know
That's
you're
his,
Yeah.
that's his baby.
He
Please
gives
sit down.
Yes.
such a
Please sit
small
down.
little morsel. for
Yeah,
that
that's what I
Rancor,
was
but
just
it,
saying. I
yeah.
was like, that's a little
Yeah.
small.
Hello, large creature. Here's a slight piece of chicken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a-
It is though. It's
Here's
like
a
when you
T-bone
feed.
steak.
It's like when you feed your pet
Right.
from the table, like dinner
Right.
scraps. Like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's a little bite.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly.
Feel special. So wait,
Yeah.
this is
That's all they
interesting
want.
too.
Yeah.
I was so concerned that the Rancor would turn on Boba Fett, but obviously in some time between, maybe they've had some interactions where, you know, things would be okay between them. So hopefully that answers more questions, you know, or answers my question the next couple of episodes. Like, are they on the same level? Is he maybe, you know, apprehensive against Boba Fett? So I'm
Mhm.
eager to see how that turns out, because it seemed good from this
Dude,
episode. But
if we
never
don't
know.
get Boba riding a Rancor,
Oh.
I'm rioting. I'm
yes,
filing
yeah,
Right.
right now.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
have set that up
yep,
for
Mhm.
it to be a possibility and going to happen.
going
Don't
to
screw
war.
with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going to
That's
war.
what
I want to
it's
learn to ride it. Hopefully, we
Yeah.
get to see Danny
Oh.
Trejo
God, I
again.
need it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
we
It's
got-
all
yeah.
so weird right now. Imagine the bonkers weird army that Boba is gonna have. He's got the
Oh.
cyborg moped teens. He's got like Kersantin. He's got an effing Rancor and Danny Trejo. I mean,
Yes.
come on.
Yeah, that is. Yeah, that's
give
quite
him
a
give him a
squad.
space machete as well. Like just get like
Oh,
just like
God.
I just want, I
Something.
can't wait for his like and then I guess we're gonna get Mando and possibly
Oh,
other
man, that
Mandalorians. I don't know. Is
musical
Bo-Katan
Yeah.
gonna come with them?
Who
So,
He's
I
knows?
wanted to
he's
talk
probably
about
gonna have
that.
Dark
Yeah.
Saber.
Yeah,
That was the
like-
big
cute.
thing.
Ooh,
that was
awesome.
yeah. That musical motif is not for no reason. That
No.
is
No.
yeah.
Heck
Bye,
no.
Arzu. Thanks for stopping
Bye,
by.
Arzu.
Bye, Arzu.
Love ya.
Yeah, that moment absolutely blew my mind. I
Yeah.
mean, musical cues and all. I mean,
Right.
it's nice to hear that kind of stuff, but like, it was so blatant. Like, and he's like,
Yes,
"We have enough money in the
yes.
bank. We're good. Like, don't worry about money. We get paid to have an army." And I'm like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god!" Because obviously, you know, Din Djarin could, of course, bring along. I mean, it could very well be different Mandalorians, like Jerry said, like Bo-Katan,
Mhm.
obviously. But there's some implication there. I mean, it doesn't have to just be Din. Maybe we can get Boss. Maybe we can get IG-88.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
give us
Yeah.
like the legacy. Like, I'll
Oh,
show you my
man.
background on my phone.
Give
My
me,
background on my phone.
give me
that
Simon
really
Pegg.
that Ralph McQuarrie
Oh,
painting
wow.
they did for
Yeah.
Empire, where it's
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
it's so
Four
good.
long,
A beautiful
Yep.
painting.
That is
Imagine
So,
so
like-
a
good.
team of like Black Chrysanthemum.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have Bosk, you have
Yep.
Mando, you
Oh my
have
God.
Dengar, you have
Yeah.
Yes!
IG-88.
Dengar.
Sorry, I love that.
You
thing
have
with
a
his head.
Mr. Bones. Can you imagine
Yes.
if Mr.
Yeah.
Bones
Oh my
shows up?
god!
That's
If Mr.
like
Bones shows up, mm.
I'm done. I am totally done if he
Yeah.
shows up. That would be amazing.
the
But then,
exact line.
Mandalorian wise, right? Mando, we could get
Uh-huh.
Bo. I mean, Sabine.
what's
Yeah.
what's the
Maybe?
guy from the comics as well? We've already got Kersantin. What's
Oh,
the other guy from the Bounty Hunter comic?
Baylor Valance.
Valance.
Yeah.
Balance, yes.
Yep.
Imagine
Yeah.
us getting the Star Wars Terminator in this thing. Like I would die.
Yeah.
He's
Well, and
modded.
He's got lasers. He's got
Yeah.
blasters.
Yeah, he's got
hands. for
plasma
crying out
blast.
loud.
Yeah, he's insane. Well, and again,
I
a lot
wouldn't
of
put it
these,
past the show.
a lot of these bounty hunters have worked together in the comics. I mean, the
Yep.
whole War of the Bounty
Right.
Hunter
Yeah,
arc
exactly.
they've all
Yeah,
crossed
they've all
paths.
had
So
interactions.
it would make sense for them. I think that you could see Grief Karga because he's still got that connection to the
Yes.
Bounty
Good
Hunters
call.
Guild.
Good
Yeah.
call.
And because of
Good
that, then they go
call.
through Grief Karga, and Grief Karga is like, all right, here you go. I'll go find you your bounty hunters for your price.
Oh my God.
That
That's
would
a good
be
call, Todd. That's a
insane.
really good
Yeah.
call. That's a really good call.
Oh.
Because they do need an army, right? Because we know
Yeah.
that the
Yeah.
Pikes
The
have
Pikes
a lot
are
of
pretty
people.
stacked. Yeah.
Right. So like
Mhm.
who else? They can't just get like, 6 or 7 like ex bounty hunters. I mean they could and
Sure.
be maybe okay, but they do need
Oh God.
more of a
Star Wars
more of a
Expendables.
army, So
The
like,
Star Wars
who are they
18.
gonna get? Right.
Yeah. Lauren, I
Yeah.
completely agree.
It's gonna be
I'm
interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm really looking
gonna be
forward to who
great.
shows up, and I think Dave Filoni's directing, I believe, the 6th episode, the second to last episode of the season, and
something's gonna happen in there.
maybe we'll get our friend Cad Bane back.
Oh.
You see that? Okay,
Ah,
can I
man.
want that. I want
Okay.
that a lot.
Please.
But
I think
don't
that would be
know if
really
he'll show
interesting.
up.
That would
Yeah.
be really
He'll
interesting
show up.
because of the relationship between Cad and Fennec in the past.
Right.
via the Clone
Exactly.
Wars. So
Exactly.
you really can just like pile it on, get real crazy with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh,
That'd be interesting though if they did if Cad came back, because then that would like Todd, you're saying like what happened between Fennec and Bane. Then will we get that in season 2 of Bad Batch?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm like maybe not Cad, but I would love it. I would love it. Or Embo. What if we got an Embo? Like
Oh,
What if Din's like,
Can you
hey, I know this
imagine?
Jedi on this one planet or whatever,
Oh
what if
my
we get
gosh.
what if we get
Ahsoka?
freaking Ahsoka?
Bruh.
It's actually Mace Windu showing up.
Oh, Yo.
Sam
Dude.
Jackson just coming like one arm from the grave,
Dude.
ready to
Oh,
just
God.
lay down.
Take
the
a
law.
seat, Pikes.
He
Take a
coulda
seat.
got
Take a
modified
seat.
at Mod Parlor. So it's
Yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
Hey, you never
Honestly,
know.
anyone-
Anything's
yeah.
in play now.
He's got the Anakin
Oh.
special where he's just
Yeah.
got like one cyborg arm now.
Yep.
Anakin special.
Oh. It's funny because you watch a show like this, and like we said, anything's on the table. Like I don't know, who will show up. I don't want to get my hopes too high. Obviously, I don't think any of us do. But I mean, if anything, we're guaranteed Din Djarin, and that is going to be badass. Because,
Yeah.
he just is such a presence now. And it's funny, I was talking to my fiance about this. I said, I actually missed Grogu and Din Djarin. It's been almost, it's obviously been a year, but like I've actually kind of longed for those characters. It's been a minute,
Yeah.
Obviously, Grogu probably won't be with him, but, for Din Djarin to come back, I mean, that's going to be a special moment. It really is.
It's just like strategically also like, hey, we also have this show coming up. So
yes.
let's
brilliant.
catch up.
Yeah.
Let's catch up a little bit. See what, it was pretty much like the period end at the last season of Mandalorian. So I honestly, if they want to bring Din just for a little bit, just to be like, yeah, this is what's going on. I have the Darksaber and I've been doing this.
Oh,
And
that's
kind I don't know. Again, that for me would it would just make sense to just bring, here we're still spinning off this show. This show's still coming out. Let's catch up with our other character.
Oh, brilliant.
So I just think that would make sense.
Of
Well,
course.
for
Mando
sure.
season,
Good point.
Mando
Yeah,
season
that's a
3
good
could just
point.
hit the ground running. Like, you
Yeah.
saw what
Mhm.
Din was up to between the end of season 2 and season 3 via the Book of Boba Fett. So now we're just going to hit the ground running.
Yep.
These are the issues he's dealing with now.
Oh,
That
brilliant.
almost like they almost have to do that, right? Because of like how they ended, like you said, Silver, how they ended season 2. It's almost like a complete arc. I mean, in all honesty,
Yeah.
So you need to kind of do a reset, and this is the perfect way to
Yep.
do that. Have them in this show, set up what's going to happen in season 3, and then haven't they talked about this being like a very big like
Connective, all these shows.
Right?
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
The
like,
Mandoverse.
exactly. So
Mhm.
like what I think that it's. Oh, I can't wait. These
I
these
can't
last 3
Building
are gonna
to a
be
large
so
event,
good.
right?
Yeah,
Yep, that was
Wasn't
the
That's
exact
right.
phrasing.
Wasn't
That
the
was
tagline?
that's
Right.
what they said.
A
Mhm.
large climactic event before Book of Boba Fett was announced. They said that it was the
Yeah.
week before. I remember where I was at.
Right.
Damn.
How many more shows are we gonna get like revealed at the end of different shows? You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's just
a
gonna
little
be
tag, like
it's going to be like the MCU of Star Wars. It's just going to be
Yeah.
insane how, and it makes sense. I mean, the MCU's got obviously the cinema element with their connected universe, and now they're getting into it with Disney Plus. But Star Wars has really kind of set itself up to build this entire universe just from the Mandalorian on Disney Plus. So if it's working and people are watching, people are receiving everything really well, just keep running with that and see where you can go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like what Brian, I think it's Brian said, Hondo and Naka.
Oh,
we got a live action of Hondo. Flip. I would flip.
Oh man.
Could you imagine like they're just having
good.
They're just having a conversation and then all of a sudden you hear in the background, I smell profit.
I kind of want that now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pirates.
Yeah,
we don't even know how to spell that.
Yeah.
And Hondo rolls in with his own like private army.
Right. Hey, it's Hondo. It's Hondo.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for the Dengar stinger, and the Dengar will return in the Trapper Keeper of Dengar or something.
Dengar.
Oh man. So I guess to kind of sign this whole episode off and really talk about the last few things, I brought in some themes, some bigger ideas here, and I'm very happy to see that that Boba Fett's building a tribe. Like this is his moment. He is making his own tribe, and I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I don't know if the Tusken warrior, the really badass one, is dead or not, but I would hope in some capacity that they could maybe bring that character into the tribe, maybe include it in some way. I don't know if there was any confirmation of that. Do y'all happen to know? Or I know they burned the gaffy sticks, but I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really, like beyond the stick, we didn't really, we didn't see her, the body. So like, I'm praying that she's around because she's a total. Like
that was awesome.
Yeah.
The old Star Wars saying, no one's ever really gone.
Exactly. Hey,
and even if they are gone, they can always bring them right back.
Yep, they'll come back.
They probably just stopped. They probably just stopped in at a mod parlor just on the outside of Mos Eisley. They'll be fine.
No, for sure.
Or that's how Boba finds out.
Apparently.
Yeah, that's how Boba finds out that it was actually the Pikes that were behind the massacre of the Tuskens and not this biker gang. Like you have like this one lone survivor.
Yeah.
And I do think there's someone even behind the Pikes. I really do. I really do think there's somebody in the shadows. Maybe that will be like the finale that will lead into, like Todd saying, maybe a season 2.
Someone a little crimson, maybe.
Yeah, a little.
Here we go.
Did you
cry.
Shannon from Postcards Around the Galaxy, and I saw this on a video too. Somebody did bring that up. That the music towards the end was right, exactly. It was Crimson Dawn, man.
I'm starting to get sweaty because I'm not cut up on Crimson Rain, but if we get like here for one thing, give me Emilia Clarke in anything, please.
Please. Yes, please.
A little streak of gray in her hair, like fine wine. Yes, please, ma'am.
Yes.
But
respectfully.
Respectfully.
Yes, very respectfully. She will kick. Yeah, she could kick my ass 100% up and down the curb. But listen, I also. What if we get like the Knights of Ren as well? I'm sorry. I even mentioned it. I'm sorry I even mentioned it.
Oh my gosh.
Are you talking about the Knights of Ren?
What about season 2?
Under
Ren.
Daddy Ren.
Under the actual Ren.
What if we did get some type of First Order kind of information, right?
Sure.
We know that's out there. Ray Sloan.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's what Gideon's working on.
I agree, Jerry.
I think he's working with them.
Yep.
Call it a hunch.
It's gonna be,
I hear he has some Snokes in a tube.
Yeah. He does. He got some backup Snokes.
Exactly.
See, it's this kind of show that like it really does change your way and how you think about what Star Wars can be. And this entire show has done that, and there have been some connective things like that have just been absolutely mind-blowing. Like give us more of those, even if it's a small canon mention, just give us some more things like that. It doesn't have to be huge, doesn't have to be in your face. This show has done that fan service concept really, really well. Like just to give us Like Cammy and Fixer was a great example.
Oh,
They
that's
didn't
so
say
good.
Cammy
Yeah.
and Fixer. They didn't say
No.
Wormy. They didn't even say Tashi Station. You just
Nope.
got it, and if you knew it, you knew
They
it.
did
And
in
it's
the
just
subtitles.
it did this.
Yeah.
Oh, did it really? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, there you go.
It
But-
it said Cammy when she's
But-
off screen and she says something. But yeah.
Jerry, think
Yeah.
about how nerdy that is. Like that, no one else would do that except
No, I know.
us.
You
know what I
see
mean?
me
Yeah.
pull up big again. Look, you see this? Like this is a nerd. Anyway.
But it's how it should be, and it's so funny because the next 3 episodes, clean slate. We don't know, and I'm just
Don't
so
know.
happy that
So
I can
excited.
turn it on in the morning and just like embrace whatever it delivers, and I'm
Yeah.
very excited for that.
Embrace
I really
the
am.
chaos.
Yeah.
Embrace it. But y'all, this was a fantastic discussion. I will say that, and of course.
Mhm.
Before we sign out, obviously we gave our predictions and how we feel. We got to get some plugs in. Todd, my friend, what's going on? Where we can find you?
So you can find me. I spend a lot of time on Twitter at Todd Knows Best, and then you can also find me talking all kinds of crazy Star Wars theories, Black Chrysanthemum Thirsting over on Black Squadron podcast.
Hell
We're on
yeah.
YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. TikTok I've been spending a lot of time on recently. So if you're on TikTok,
TikTok's fun.
definitely I enjoy it just because I get to be goofy with it and do
Yeah.
dumb trends, and I show off a lot of all of not this, that's all of this. Whatever it is, all of that. So yeah, definitely check us out.
Awesome.
Fantastic. Great show. And
Did you say?
Silver.
Did you?
Oh, here we go. What?
Oh,
Jerry?
good. Go for it. No. I was just gonna do a stupid bit. I was gonna say, did someone say
Do
Black
it.
Chrysanthemum? Sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
literally me every morning when I watch it.
Silver, where can we find you thirsting over Black Chrysanthemum?
You can find me thirsting over Black Chrysanthemum, also Santi, BK, Santo, I guess that we
Santo.
call him. We can call him that too. At Star Wars Thrift on Twitter, also on Instagram, Star Wars Thrifting. I have a YouTube channel where I show my thrift vlogs at Star Wars Thrifting. I'm also a co-host on Into the Garbage Chute podcast, which is very brand new with my friend Kat. And yeah, we just like to talk Star Wars.
Awesome. Good stuff. It's a great Twitter
Fantastic,
follow
yeah.
too, by the way. I love when you find any prequel things. It always makes me so happy
Oh.
just because it's out there and it's actually very affordable. I will say that. If you find
It
anything
is.
prequels, it's usually not too expensive. It's
Not
very
$100.
fair.
No, it's not $100.
Not
Battle
$100.
$100 real minty, just a little bit of cigarette
Right.
smokeware.
Yeah.
Listen.
Just-
I know this smells like a 1950s diner, okay? But listen.
100.
Hundo.
I'm gonna make you a deal. 200 right now.
200.
You can take it home with you right now.
Yeah.
I'll give you a car seat to put in it. Yeah.
The Texas Diner Special.
Oh,
That's a
brilliant.
good one.
Lauren, my sweet friend,
Yes.
where can the wonderful people find your fantastic show?
Well, first of all, thank you guys. Always.
Always.
Enjoy coming on
Oh,
and talking to you guys. Todd,
thank you.
Silver, this is a blast.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys can follow me on Twitter at Loro Knows. You can follow the GALactic Podcast with me and my cousin Andrea at the GALactic Pod. And then you can follow my other podcast, the Geek Broads Pod, on Twitter as well. And we're all on the major platforms, so go listen to us. And yeah, man, this was a blast, as always.
So much
always.
fun. Thank you. Yeah, seriously.
Of
Thanks for having me on,
course.
everyone. This is great.
Oh, we're
Thank
the
you
lucky
guys all
ones.
for gracing us with your presence. Seriously.
Now,
yeah.
Oh, you're
Thank
welcome.
you.
so I know we have
This
two...
is-
What, Jerry?
Stop it. Why do you always I just need to keep my mouth shut because every time I say listen, this is the show where we do this. Go on. I was just gonna press the button again.
I was
Press
gonna
the-
say before we say stay bombad and end this whole session, I must play a clip for 2 new Bombadcast, I guess, Hall of Famers here. Obviously,
as
this
is our
is
tradition.
this is gonna be your hazing at this club. And it's not that bad of a hazing. It's not that bad.
That the
Is your wake-up call. Time to reach, go for it all. Culture stirs inside of me, and I know what I can be. Limit is the sky. Hey world, watch me fly. The best part of waking up is soldiers in your life.
amazing. Always. I talked to him
Was
about
it a
Star
circus
Wars.
or a magic
That's
show?
wild.
That was a
Yeah.
spiritual
No one
awakening
knows.
right there.
Spiritual
I just need a
awakening.
lizard up my nose now, and I'm ready
Yeah.
to go.
Yes!
I will let that Folgers commercial guide me.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
of course, I want to show this off real quick before this evening ends. We've been doing a new thing at the end of our show every week where we play Man in the Mirror, sang by the wonderful Pasquale, and I think we should drink to that.
You've got a Pasquale cup. You
this.
bastard.
I got a Chuck E. Cheese Pasquale.
That's not, listen.
Oh.
Hashtag not my Pasquale. My God.
Not my
Who is-
Pasquale.
who is that?
Let's go.
I don't
Respect.
recognize.
This is the
That's awesome.
demented
That's awesome.
2011 Pasquale. So that
Oh,
being
God.
said,
2011 Pasquale.
being said,
vintage.
I'm sure we're gonna have all of you back on, but I'm gonna give Todd this evening's Stay Bombad. So Todd,
Yeah.
you know how the show ends. Give us a good Stay Bombad. Then we're gonna jam to some Man in the Mirror by Pasquale.
Oh, you already know. It's always time to stay bombad.
Yes.
Did you say impossible? Pasquale? Only kidding, Chucky. I've changed my tune because I finally thought of a possible dream that we can all share. What is it?
Pasquale?
It's a dream about a world when nobody is poor or sick or hungry.
Oh, now that's a dream we can make come true.
I'm gonna make a change for once in my life. It's gonna feel real good, gonna make a difference, gonna make it right.
As I point up the collar on my favorite winter coat, this wind is blowing my mind.
I see the kids in the street with not enough to eat. Who am I to be blind?